You want to stick to the mics because that's the only way we can record.
That's right. Okay. Alrighty then.
Remember that.
Remember that, because I remember last year.
It's for your health.
Can you hear me now? Always, yeah. You couldn't hear me before, but you can hear me now.
Can you hear me now?
No. You gotta turn it on, man.
Bees? Okay, you can.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
Not the
right
bees!
now.
Okay.
All right, brother. You ready?
No,
Right, take the show away. Okay, so I want to first introduce our first speaker here. This is Paul Dienhart. He's also known as Seeker. He actually came to the panel last year, and through the weird twist of fate of life, 1 year later, he's helping me present it. What we're going to talk about today is the Myers-Briggs personality test. It's one of the best personality instruments ever constructed, and it's a really good way to understand different people and different perspectives. So really, without further ado, I will give it to Seeker, and we can start.
Yeah, before I was but the learner, now I am the teacher, I
The
guess.
student has become the teacher, my friend.
I guess. He is my senpai.
Senpai will never notice you. I'm sorry.
All right. So
Where's your mouse?
It's over
Oh,
here.
you're going to do your own timings, or you want me to?
I'll just screw it.
All right.
So, yes. Why learn about personalities? Why do we even care? You know? Because we're bored.
That's why you're here for a second year in a row, am I right?
Yeah.
I recognize you guys. Oh yeah, represent.
Yeah.
Woo! Science.
This is for science.
This is science.
This is for all
Fighting with
for all
science.
Twilight Sparkles in the room. Twilight Sparkle. I'm a Twilight Sparkle. We'll get into that
He's
later.
a Twilight Sparkle.
I'm
yes.
a Twilight Sparkle. So, yeah, before I even talk about Myers-Briggs or whatever this fancy mathematical language is, I want to motivate it. Okay, why do we even care? Why learn about personalities? What does it do for us? To learn about your own strengths and weaknesses. It's important to understand your place in the world with respect to everybody else. What are you good at? What are you not so good at that you need to work on? And this makes you a lot more, easy to make friends with. It makes you a lot more tolerable to other people to realize, oh, okay, I'm not so good at this, I'm sorry. Or it tells you when you can take control in a certain situation. Like, hey, I'm really good at this. Maybe I should be a leader in this situation. And yeah, I don't know why that went backwards. Learning about your own self can help you learn your strengths and weaknesses. It helps you to identify things you might be good at, your strengths, and learn how to grow as a person. That draws on your weaknesses. Nobody's good at everything. What?
You don't want to grow as a person.
Well then,
I think we both know something like that, right?
Yeah, get out of my house. Yeah,
That is an inside joke.
at some point you have to listen to people and understand that you're not perfect at everything. We all have room to improve. And to appreciate yourself for who you are. It's pretty difficult to appreciate yourself for who you are if you don't know who you are. So it gives you a perspective of just where you are in the world. And especially, we're here at Trotcon, we all have a similar interest. I think we're all kind of here to hang out with people and get to know new people. Learning about yourself can help you to find other people that are like you. People that you share a similar perspective with. Huh? Okay. It also helps you to learn about other people. Learning about others can help you find out how to best approach helping someone, meeting someone, approaching someone. That's my work phone. I apologize for that. That's really awkward. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about serious business right now. So learning about others can help you, What's the next one? Understand the nature of the problems that you have with other people. A lot of times the disagreements that you reach with other people involve just a simple difference in personality. A difference in the way that you see the world compared to how someone else sees it. If you have problems with your parents or your friends or your siblings or people at work, and you might want to understand, why is this person looking at it a certain way and I'm looking at it a different way? Why can't we be on the same page? This panel might be able to maybe help you see some of that. And also, it helps you to learn to appreciate the wide diversity in how people's minds work. You know, some people go through life thinking, everybody else just kind of thinks the same way that I do, and it's not true at all. I just really want to motivate that. People are so different in the way that they think.
Some people remember to bring pens.
Yeah, the people, like the person sitting next to you has a completely different struggle unrelated to anything that's going on in your brain right now, and you might not even know about it. But most of all, to find others that are like you, to meet people that really do see the world in the same way that you kind of see it. Find friends, find validity that you're not crazy, because
What if you don't find that?
then you're not trying hard enough.
You might be crazy in other ways, just not your personality.
Yeah, or you'd be crazy in a fun way. I mean, I'm sure there's Pinkie Pie related personalities here in the room.
There's not a one, I can
I'm
guarantee
sure
you that.
there's not one sitting right there.
Are you sure?
That remains to be
There isn't one sitting right there now. There's one standing right there.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yeah, find validity that you're not insane, because before I realized that there are other people out there that are just like me, I thought I was lost in the world. Like I felt like a desert outpost, and like nobody in the world was even close to the way that I think. And I know that's not true anymore. So find validity that you're not crazy. There are other people like you. You can make friends with them, and they will probably be very deep, interesting friendships. Learn to understand different people, like people that are not like you. I spent a bunch of time talking about people that are like you and making friends with them. But it's also important to understand people that are not like you. And because it's fun, you dingus. Learning about people is fun to me. By the way, that whole, I don't know why that didn't show up right.
You didn't do the animation timings, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that slide's supposed to look like. By the way, that whole thing about getting to know people that are related to you, that see things in a similar way, that create friendships that flourish, that's called loving. And learning to understand different people that you don't, really understand at first, that's called tolerating. And I think loving and tolerating has kind of something to do with this whole thing.
We've never heard these words before, have we?
Yeah.
Shall we define these words, sir?
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of just did. Loving is just finding people that are like you and really having great friendships, sharing things, understanding things in a similar way.
You take them the way they are, right?
Yeah. And learning to understand people that you don't really click with is also important. I mean, like the Maud Pie episode, like nobody really clicked with Maud Pie, but
I did.
all right. I mean, it's hard to click with some people, but you learn to understand why, and you try to make it work, and that's what tolerating is all about. And sometimes tolerating even turns into loving. Why MLP is perfect for a panel like this. I don't think I need to, this is not news to anybody. There's a large cast, there's a lot of different personalities clashing on the show. A whole bunch of different main characters doing all sorts of crazy stuff, being their crazy selves. And actually these differences in personalities are what drive the plot. We wouldn't have plots for various episodes unless these characters were so different. If all the characters were the same, they just all do the same thing every time, it'd be really boring. Nobody
So
watches
we
it.
ought to describe the different kinds of plots.
Yes. Different kinds
Categorize them.
Well, yeah.
Know them.
Well, these are the things that create plots. And yes. And respecting differences is tolerating, learning from other people's differences. You could actually, realize, hey, this different person, they're onto something, and I was wrong about something. You can learn from other people too, based on the differences in your personalities. And now Andrew, I think, is going to talk about what's going on here.
Sure. Well, I mean, I can talk a little bit about the Myers-Briggs personality test, and I always like to, do my little psychologizing thing and come to the front of the table to remove the invisible barrier. But the Myers-Briggs personality test was created back around World War II because this was such a large effort. So many people were sent to war that we needed to tap and untap resources, and that was women in the workforce. So women had never really been, well, at least since cave times pretty much, in modern industrial society, women had never really been considered, to have talent and value in the workforce. As horrible and as strange as that sounds to us today, it's the truth. So it's a mother-daughter team, Myers-Briggs, and what they did is they came up with this test. They interviewed people all throughout society, and they learned different learning styles and things like that, and that is how they came up with this personality test. Since that time, it's been translated all over the world. It's used in businesses, it's used in schools. I mean, the first place I ever took it was a school, and I've also taken it for my work. I work for the state, and they have an entire workshop just about Myers-Briggs. And the important thing to remember about this is it measures preferences. Unlike other tests like the MMPI, if any of you know anything about psychology, it's not designed to measure traits, and it's not designed to measure abnormalities. And I can give the difference between a trait and a preference really easy. How many people in this room are left-handed? Wow, we have quite a few lefties. And I remembered you from last year, yes. So, all you lefties, right, you do most things with this hand, right? And I play guitar left-handed, and I do a bunch of other weird stuff left-handed, but that's your preference, right? Now, you have two hands, I'm assuming. All of you have two hands, right? That's a very good thing, right? So 2 hands. So that's a trait. Yeah. Having 2 hands is a trait. What hand that you use and feel more comfortable with, that's a preference. So it's almost like your personality's handedness. That's what the letters are. So, and yeah, again, it's designed for normal individuals, not like some people we know. Not designed to diagnose mental illness. So, if you have...
We're not trying to label any of you as
right,
crazy.
like if you have bipolar disorder or antisocial personality disorder, not really so much. So what do we mean by the preferences? So they came up with 4 categories: introversion, extroversion, intuition, sensing, thinking, feeling, judging, perceiving. And these all sound like really weird words. So just know that these are the letters for now. We're going to get into more detail about this momentarily. So there's no reason to really explain it twice, even though I'm an extrovert, so I love to explain things 1,000 times, because that's how I do all my best thinking. And another thing too important, again, with a preference, how many of you lefties do some stuff right-handed? Like if you're opening a bottle or you have to use a can opener, right? You accommodate. Some of those things you're going to do right-handed. Some lefties are really, really left-handed. I write with my right hand, but I do a lot of stuff with my left hand. So it's kind of the same thing here. Some people are going to have a really strong preference for some things, but are kind of more in the middle with others. So, maybe you think, maybe you use your thinking side as often as your feeling side. Maybe sometimes you like to be the life of the party, and other times you just like to spend a quiet evening alone. I mean, that's introversion, extroversion. So there's also kind of weight and clarity assigned to these preferences. So, to that end, we have a short survey. I have some pencils here if you guys want to take a little test to find out what kind of type you are.
We're going to find out.
All right, so yes, that's right. So I got pens. I mean, I used my charisma to get all this stuff together last minute. So let's hand some stuff out.
You didn't expect to have a Twilight Sparkle personality up here without expecting to take a test, did you?
If any of you have your own pens, just let me know. Yes, you came more prepared than I did. I'm joining the panel.
If you already have a pen...
Yeah, I don't know if I have quite enough to go around, but yeah, if you have
I
a
do.
pen. You guys have... Okay, do you want to take it again, or whatever you want to do? All right. Okay.
Before it starts, I'm selling the answer sheet.
Awesome. There are right answers and wrong answers.
Yeah, and obviously there are no right answers or wrong answers when you do this. It's just whichever one sounds cooler to you.
Okay.
One of the answers might sound way cooler to you, one of them might be like a little bit better. Just whichever one is the best. No, we're gonna run through this.
What's going on? All right, who has pens, who doesn't here?
He's still the one from the hotel room.
Awesome.
That's only one letter.
All right.
Yeah.
He did not steal.
Oh,
I did not. He was.
I'm running out. Shoot.
We could.
All right. I think I have more back here.
We have some pens we can use.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Can you hand those out to the side of the room? That'd be so awesome.
Pass it on.
You want to take it, buddy? I'm good. You good? Sure. I will need these back because they will take a pound of flesh out of me for every one of these that I don't took back. So I'm not trying to lose more than a couple of pounds. So.
Good sir. We have a new person.
We do. Greetings, young.
Thank you.
Discord.
You guys are awesome, by the way.
All right, are we good to go?
Are we good to go? You need one extra pen. One extra pen. All right. This is an excellent example of perceiving because none of this was planned. It's just getting everything together in the moment.
Getting everything together in the moment.
Yeah. The 1960s are still alive and well in 2014.
All right. So let's get started with this thing.
Did anyone put a pair of glasses in here?
Did you find anything when you were setting up, buddy?
I found my own pair of sunglasses.
That's really odd. Saying they should have blank here, but let's try to corner power panel last night. Just went with it. It was crazy.
I don't know. I see some grapes. I don't really see any sunglasses. I'm sorry, man.
All right, so we're gonna find out exactly who you guys are. This is the first question. First question is, I feel most relaxed and at home when I'm by myself or when I'm in the company of friends. When do you feel most at peace?
Just go with your first inclination. Don't think about it too much. Just whatever feels more comfortable to you.
Again, like one answer might really scream at you, one answer might be just a little bit more conducive to what you like. Right. And be honest about yourself.
I think they have extra pens. Yeah. Don't pick what you think you should pick. No social desirability here.
No.
Yeah.
There's obviously no social
We're all being
desirability.
honest. We're not going to judge you based on what answer you choose. All right. So this is the second question. Second question is,
Soda?
I'm good.
I would like
Thanks.
soda.
Random, Pinkie Pie, random. The best way to solve a problem is by crafting and executing a plan or through trial and error.
This was definitely a plan.
Yeah.
Soda is always the answer.
Letter C, soda.
Depends on how much time.
That's right.
All right. Question 3 is, when making decisions in a crisis, it is important to either ensure that everyone is all right or stay tough and carry through.
Whoa, whoa. Nobody? No new kids on the block fans? Hanging tough? Nobody? All right, I'm dating myself.
He's a little older than me.
I look 17, but I'm a little older.
Okay, this is question number 4. When you are getting together with friends, you tend to either take initiative and make the plans yourself or gladly follow along with whatever plans are being made.
I just realized I'm going the wrong direction on this.
There is no wrong direction. I know, I'm sure.
But there is one direction, and that's what makes you beautiful.
You're grounded.
Hey, I can do boy bands from the 80s or now.
No more soda. No soda for you.
No soda for me? What's wrong with you people?
No soda for you. All right, question 5. I feel better about myself when I have reached my personal comfort zone or when I have been comforted by my friends and family members. I almost missed it.
Survey says.
Survey says. God.
C.
Let's see if that answer's on the board.
Survey says. All right, question 6 is, I'm more interested in trying new things, or sticking with what is tried and true. And don't lie about this.
Yes, please, don't lie about this. Remember, if you don't tell the truth on this, the only person you're really depriving of knowledge is yourself.
I'm okay with that.
Me? Hey, I mean, I'll talk to some of you guys. I may never see a lot of you again. So,
Like, if
you're
you-
not really depriving me of anything.
If you go to a restaurant and you try something new on the menu every time, or if you go to a restaurant and you just like, this is what I really like, I'm gonna order this. Every time, this is what I really like.
Well, so if I do that every time, should I answer that?
Whatever
Yeah.
you do most of the time in most situations.
Yeah.
I mean, I do
I was
A
giving
more
one
than B,
example.
but I mean, when I go to a restaurant, there's something I really like, I take it, you know.
So what do you do more often?
More often, that's right. That's what preference is, not trait.
I mean, you're not gonna do the same thing all the time.
No, nobody's perfectly consistent. Or perfectly inconsistent.
That's why a lot of these questions are worded like more likely to. So when forced to make a decision, you are more likely to follow your gut instinct or analyze it. Take a real deep investigation.
Copy your answers. It'll be easier to score.
Okay. Why is it clicking? There we go.
It hates you.
It does.
You click harder.
Question 8. The best way to ensure a great vacation is to plan each part with careful consideration, or pack lightly and just kind of go with the flow. Be ready for anything.
So a cruise ship or backpacking in Europe? Which one?
Which one is more you?
Good luck.
That would be awesome. I like your idea. I love the way you think, man.
They did that in Italy when they ran the cruise ship ashore.
Yeah, the
Really
last,
worked
the
too
last
well.
time that happened, somebody got charged with abandoning ship. So
I didn't work too well.
Didn't work so well.
didn't work so well for him, or the
No.
unfortunate.
Or the passengers.
Yeah.
All right, question 9. You feel you are most successful when you have climbed your way to the top, you know, self-made man or woman, whatever, or when you have gained the admiration of others. One or the other.
It is, yeah, just whichever one you like. Whichever one is least heinous, then.
Yeah, whichever one sounds the least ridiculous to you. It could be the lesser of two evils, or it could be the greater of two awesomeness.
Are you going to be couch jumping Tom Cruise or Top Gun Tom Cruise?
Top Cruise. All right, here's a pretty simple one. Question 10. I'm more interested in new ideas or traditions.
I think we know my answer to this one. I'm very, I am traditional.
Yeah, talk about 80s boy bands. Talk about
That's
tradition.
right. That's tradition, man. That is tradition.
At this point, yeah. Question
That's
11.
terrifying.
The world is a place where everything can be judged subjectively, or where everything can be studied scientifically. What? Oh, I thought you were saying it was an art.
I'm drinking a
Which one do you tend to cling to more? Do you judge things subjectively? Do you have like a feeling about it, or you study it with your head box?
That's awesome.
Okay. Question 12. When someone disagrees with you, you find it easy to assert your beliefs and argue your point. You feel it's important to, hey, this is what I think. Or you just shrug it off and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, you have your point of view. I honestly don't know what in this case. Okay, question 13. I prefer to surround myself with either a small group of close friends or a lot of friends, like an entourage. You want to be popular, have a lot of different friends.
So if you're like Clark Griswold's boss in Christmas Vacation, that is morbid. Or flashy.
Question 14. I often catch myself thinking about fictional universes or practical. Yeah, exactly. This. I feel like there's going to be a large bias on this question, given that we're in a Brony convention. So.
But it's okay to have a bias because it's selection bias.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a pen? There you go.
Last one.
Nice. All right, question 15. The most important thing in life is to achieve happiness for yourself or to work hard and leave behind a legacy. Are you happiness focused, like more of a hedonist, or you want to leave behind a legacy?
The songs of Boston make sense to
One
you.
answer is right. Bingo.
All right.
Bingo. How did you already get bingo, man?
Bingo!
Well, come up here and claim your prize.
King me.
It's hanging right in there. It's a bag of mostly water.
Question 16. When plans change, you tend to wish they hadn't changed? Does that make you uncomfortable? Or do you just accept and go with the flow? All right, cool. I'm flexible, whatever.
Free soda. I'm thirsty.
Free soda. All right, question 17. We're almost done with this. I most often think about how someone's actions will affect the individual or will affect the universe as a whole. Do you think about the universe as a
That's
whole?
right, butterfly effect. I was going to say not the bees, but that is...
Not the bees! This might be
You know, that could go several ways, dude. Just go with it. Just go with
Does that
it.
mean how it will affect them or how it will affect you?
That's a very good question.
Maybe how it'll affect you.
Yeah.
All right, question 18. The music I like can be described as what inspires me the most or whatever makes for the most fun time. So, you know, whatever's popular at the moment.
It's more like, you know, what are you looking for more meaning in your music, or do you just listen to music?
A is kind of more like more into the lyrics. Lyrics care about me. It's like
the lyrics speak to me, or this is a catchy song that sounds just like a song that came out.
Turn down for what? Let's party.
Turn down for what?
And question 19 is, when you disagree with someone, you are more likely to tell them what will brighten their day the most, or what they need to hear, whether they like it or not.
My name is Pinkie Pie. Yes, indeed. Somebody has seen the Smile HD video. Very good.
All right, and now for the final question. Question 20, the best way to go through life is to put all of your time to good use, or to see the sights and enjoy the ride.
Pens and papers down! Actually, no.
Time up! Time up! Time! Or you'll be tardy!
I'm gonna need to see your hall pass, mister.
That's funny because he doesn't have his
I don't have my hall pass. I forgot.
He doesn't have his hall pass.
So I had to get
I'm a good student. I'm Twilight Sparkle. I'm a good student. I have my hall pass.
Magic kindergarten.
Magic kindergarten.
The dog ate my whole.
All right, we're done with this crap now. So what did you get?
All right. So here's how we're gonna score it. All right.
It's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. So basically just look at the rubric if you're more a visual learner, or you can look at the top if you're more of an explanation kind of person.
All I gotta do is add them up and go straight down.
The easiest way to do it is if you have 3 or more in any column, that's your preference.
Yeah.
So once you get to 3, stop counting.
Yeah, if you get a 5.
If you get a 5, that's a very strong preference.
7 out of 5.
So just write down your 4 letters at the bottom, because that's something that we'll come into later, because that's your personality type. And then once we go over the types, we'll see what makes sense.
Yeah, according to our goofy quiz.
That's right. Our goofy quiz that cannot legally be related to the Myers-Briggs test, which is copyright material. So just go down to each column, and count whichever one you have more, that's your right. Yeah, more A answers than B. So A answers are 5. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's one letter away.
Does anybody want me to come over? Have any questions about this? Have you all scored it? Okay. Anybody who needs questions, I'll come right over.
Yeah. We're going to go through in detail what all these letters mean. Yeah, there's a lot of bronies that are INTPs and INTJs.
INTJ.
There's a lot of bronies that are those two types. Yeah, like me. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's actually rare in general.
But among bronies, it's not so rare. I think it's only like 1% of the population.
Does anybody else have any questions about how to score? Alright, so we all good, right? I scored an ENFP.
Feeling that.
Good to see you.
Okay, so is everybody pretty much caught up? And then we got the stuff added up? Sorry we made you do math.
I blame our schools.
I blame all schools. Alright. So, basically now what we're going to do is just explain, okay, what do all these fancy words mean? What's this? I've seen both.
It's supposed to be O.
I've seen both.
Misspelled?
No, it's not misspelled. It's kind of like buses versus buses. You can spell it with one S in the middle or two S.
No, you cannot. Fish!
Yeah. Fish or fishes. All right.
No! I have
I'm
an
gonna move on with my life.
full.
Introversion versus
And we have skits, and we need our esteemed Mr. Popo to do at least one of them. So tradition mandates, sir, that you come up here at least for one of these. All right. So you get to pick the one you want to do. Okay. So the first spectrum is introversion versus extroversion. How many of you were I? How many of you are introverts?
Of course, most.
Of course, the majority of bronies are going to be introverts. So
Yeah.
you raise your hand too, Paul. All right. So
Yes,
be
Master.
proud. And yes, exactly. And how many of you are extroverts? So let's see the rest. All right. So yes.
Put your hand down.
That's right. So we're kind of the weirdos in the nerd community. We are very outgoing. So let's look at the difference between introversion and extroversion. Introversion is private, reflective, territorial, yes. Attached with others and few friends. All kinds of private jokes, aren't there, Paul?
Drama house.
Indeed. So
He wrote this part.
my house, my things. I need my alone time. Those are things that introverts say. And they have few friends, but the friends that they have tend to be of higher quality. Do that with extroversion. You're outgoing, you're gregarious, you're social, you're energized, and you have many acquaintances. People confuse this a lot. People think that introvert means you hate people, and extrovert means you like people. It's not really true. It's more like where you get your energy. Do you get your energy more from inside, or do you get more validation from others? Do you get your energy externally? You can be an extrovert and not like people very much, and you can be an introvert and be very endeared to people. Absolutely true. It's just where you get your energy. There's no real value to it. So, to that end, let's see, where is it? Oh my god, do I not have my introversion or extroversion thing? I don't. Oh my gosh.
It's in there.
It's in there. Okay, this is not a good one for you.
I was gonna say, no.
Okay, so who wants to be introvert, who wants to be extrovert? Come on up here. 2 people. Come on. All right. I'm thinking you are going to be the introvert. What you're going to do is you're just going to read the lines right there. And who else is coming up? Who else? All right, come on, guys. Come on. One of you. All right. Give me a hand, guys. Come on. Okay. So, Yep, you're just gonna read the lines together, and I will bring you guys really close together. Just look at each other, pretend you know each other, pretend you like each other. Read the highlighted part. So you start.
Right. So now that you know the elements of a good cheer, let's hear one. Can you cheer for me like that? Louder! Louder!
Perfect, guys. Awesome. You guys, come on, high five for both of you. Excellent. All right, so there we go. I mean, that's an example of introversion versus extroversion. Rainbow Dash is very loud. She's out there. She wants people to notice her. Fluttershy is very inward. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have the passion. It's just more internal. All right, so let's go on to the next dichotomy here. Sensing versus intuiting. This is one of those things where they use weird words that don't make any sense, but I will try to clear the clouds here a little bit. So sensing is very practical, realistic, specific, matter of fact. The bottom line with sensing is what is. You're concerned about what the present reality is. You're not really looking more into the situation. To quote Sigmund Freud, and all the 90s kids will get a laugh out of this, a cigar is just a cigar. There we go, I identified all of you. That's right. So intuiting, however, you're looking more at the big picture. Intuitives love to look at the big picture. They love to look at the what if. What could be possible out of this situation? So intuitives let their imaginations run, and sometimes that gets you into trouble.
And sometimes it gets you into fandoms.
Yes, it does. Sometimes it gets you into fandoms. Or relationships.
Yeah. The thing about sensing and intuiting, this deals with how you take in information. You know?
Yes.
This deals with how you learn. Exactly. The letter after this deals with how you make judgments and actually do stuff. This letter is either, you're very literal, it is what it is, or intuiting is all about reading between the lines.
Exactly. It's how you process, it's like how you look at the information you've got. Okay, so
I'm totally good at that.
you are totally yes, you have to do Mr. Popo just like last year, so you're that one. Who wants to be the censor person?
I'll do it.
You'll do it? Come on right up. All right.
Wait, could you just say that again about what you just said about how this one is about how you learn and the next one is about...
Okay, so the first one is like how you get your energy. This is kind of how you take, this is how you take in information. This chooses what information that you value. So, do you look at things as they are, or do you try to see more into the situation? Do you try to see it's like explanation versus implication. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
A sensor will see a pile of clay and say it's a pile of clay.
An intuitive will ask, where did that clay come from?
Hey, yeah, where did the clay come from? Why do we have clay? What could it be? Maybe a castle, a plane, a dinosaur?
Right. There we go. All right, our lead intuitive right here. Okay, guys, so you take it away. All right, here you go. You start.
Might be out of practice, but I know you got this. I don't need practice. All right, maggot. I'm panicking for no reason about sending this letter by sound down. If I don't, it'll be tardy.
What's that now?
Tardy, Spike. Weren't you listening to Bobo? I'll be late. Oh, how could I let this happen? I'm usually so organized. I've never been late with an assignment or a murder.
Oh, please. You're the most studious student ever. I'm sure the princess will forgive you if you miss one little deadline.
I'm afraid to take that chance, Spike. I don't take chances. This is the ruler of all Equestria we're talking about, the pony who holds my future throne. And my fate in her hooves. What if she doesn't forgive me?
Yeah, I don't think she's...
What if, instead, she starts thinking I'm not taking my studies on friendship seriously and finds out I'm not?
Why would she...
What if she makes me come back to Canterlot and puts me back in a school and makes me prove all the stupid things I've already proven to her? What if I can't do that anymore because I never could in the first place?
What if I don't pass?
Well, Why wouldn't you pass?
She's my teacher. Do you know what teachers do to students who don't pass? They send them back to grade, but she won't just send me back to grade. She'll send me back to magic kindergarten.
Various fillies laughing.
Various fillies laughing, right? Quiet, maggots. Huh?
Ah!
I had this ridiculous dream. I was a black space person from some sort of animal.
That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. You're not going back. You're not going to be sent back to magic kindergarten.
You're right. I have no reason to worry. Because I'm going to solve a friend's problem and get that letter to Princess Celestia before sundown. So, got any problems, troubles, conundrums, or any other sort of issues, major or minor, that as a good friend I can help you solve? If not, you're useless to me.
I got nothing.
I figured. Then it looks like I'm going to have to find some phony who does.
This won't end well.
Fantastic. Brilliant, guys. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant, guys. Awesome. Cool. Actually, you can keep that. I'm probably not going to use this again, so. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, so that is kind of what, if any of you are sensors, that is kind of what it's like to be an intuitive. You what if things to death.
Turn everything into a slippery slope.
You turn everything, exactly. You turn everything into a horrible slippery slope that says, you know, what if I lose everything? That's like the biggest thing. Like that's the biggest intuitive question. What if I lose it all?
Lots of what ifs.
Lots of what ifs. And the sensor is like, well, that's stupid. Why would you do that?
Yeah, why do that?
Why? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that's intuition versus sensing. All right, so let's go on to the next one.
Yeah, let's go on to the next one.
Thinking versus feeling. Okay, this is the one that's easy for everybody, okay?
There is a little bit more to it, though.
Yeah, are you Spock or Captain? Thinking is objective, just, firm, logical, analytical, and detached. So this is how you make decisions, okay? That's the most important thing to remember about this. This is how you make decisions. Before you're looking at how you bring information in, this is what you do with it. And, you know, since this is Captain Kirk, I will do my horrible Will Shatner impersonation. All right. Feeling is subjective, merciful, fair-minded, emotional, appreciative, and involved. So, the thinkers like to walk around the pool, they like to dip their toes in, they're like, okay, well, you know, that's, I don't know, that water's probably 75 degrees. The feeler's like, I'm jumping in because I want to get in the pool.
Yeah.
So everybody in the pool.
Yeah. Thinking people believe in, like, they want to make decisions based on logic and
Right.
what is just. Like,
Yes.
I believe that this is the way things should be, so I'm going to do it this way.
Justice
Even
versus
if
mercy.
it doesn't necessarily make for the best happiness.
Yeah. And feelers look much, much, much more at the social consequence of your actions. And, you know, I mean, this is true whether you're in a business environment, whether you're at school, or whether you're with your own friends. Feelers very much try to look at the social consequences of policies, of actions, all of that. I mean, the important thing to remember about this is this applies everywhere. This doesn't apply to just one aspect of your life. This is everything. So, thinking and feeling. So we have Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. So, who wants to be who? We got volunteers. Okay, come on up.
Can I be the teacher?
Yes, absolutely. You can.
Dash, do that.
You got it. Oh man, now we have tons for Pinkie Pie. Okay, I don't think I chose you last year, my dear, so come on up.
I don't think so. She wasn't here.
That's right. Gotta be fair to everybody. So, all right. So, without further ado,
Alright, I want this to do on that one.
so all you have to do is just read the highlighted parts. Okay. So, yeah, just nod. Yep, nod.
Who could that be?
Hey there, Pinkie Pie. Sorry I was in such a rush earlier. Had some place to be and quickly on and say hello. You know how it goes.
Oh, I know how it goes, all right.
Yeah, so why did you come over with me to Sweet Apple Acres?
No thanks. I'm spending time with my real friends. Isn't that right, Madame Laflower? Oui, that is correct, Madame.
Happy pie?
Another slice of cake, Sir Lancelot? I'd love one.
Alrighty. What do you say we get out of Creepy Town and head over to Applejack's?
She's not going anywhere. I most certainly am not. I'm having a wonderful time right here.
You should really just come with me.
You heard the lady. She ain't going nowheres, chump.
Who are you calling a chump? Ugh, that's it. Party's over. Come on, Pinkie Pie.
No!
Pinkie Pie, let's go.
I said no.
You have to come with me.
No, I don't.
Oh, you want to do this the hard way? We'll do this the hard way.
All right, so based on that extremely excellent performance by both of our performers here, yes, absolutely. Who do you think was the thinker? Who do you think was the feeler? Pinkie is definitely the thinker. That's right. That is right. Because that's what you do when you think. You make multiple personalities. That's right. Thinkers are multiple personalities.
One of the personalities is Dude, Sir Lancelot's totally thinking about it. Oh,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, go nowhere, chump.
So yeah, I mean, you see that Pinkie Pie's just trying, she's hurt, and Rainbow Dash is like, I don't care if you're hurt, you're coming with me. So, you know, suck it up, Buttercup, versus, but. Yeah. That's pretty much it. All right, so next one. Judging versus perceiving. Okay, these are weird words. We don't use them this way like they did in the 1940s.
Judging does not mean judgmental.
Yeah, judging doesn't mean judgmental, and perceiving doesn't mean perceptive.
No, it
doesn't.
I told my mom she was a judging type, and she got really offended.
I am not very perceptive sometimes. I left my badge at home. So yes, very perceptive here. So judging is ordered, decided, fixed, planned, scheduled, deliberate, and the thing with that is judges like to have control. They want to control a situation. They want to know as many extraneous variables as possible, account for possibilities, no matter how crazy or remote, and control their environment. Perceivers, these are the hippies, all right? So you're flexible, you're open-ended, you're adaptable, man, you're bending.
Man, I'll do whatever, sure.
I don't know what I'm talking about now, man. Just kind of go with it.
That is a perceiver, right? Now, I admit that this wasn't the best example that I pulled out, but this was probably the best one that I could come up with. So, Princess Celestia and Twilight Sparkle. Who wants to do? All right, you two.
Yeah, there you go.
Brilliant, brilliant. This is how this works. All right, who wants to be who? You'll be Celestia. Okay, you get to be the evil overlord, and you coming over. You winged me, man. What's going on? All right. So, same as everybody else. Read the highlighted parts.
In John Delancey's voice.
Yes. I will try.
Nice Twilight Sparkle.
Princess Celestia. Twilight Sparkle, my faithful student. I knew you could do it.
But you told me you was all a ponytail.
I told you that you needed to make some friends, nothing more. I saw the signs of Nightmare Moon's return, and I knew it was you who had the magic inside to defeat him. But you could not unleash it until you let true friends into your heart. Why so glum, my faithful student? Why are you not happy that your quest is complete, and you can return to your studies in Canada?
That's just it. Just when I learn how wonderful it is to make friends, I have to leave them.
Spike, take a note. Please. Princess Celestia, hereby decree that the unicorn Twilight Sparkle, thank you, Spike, shall take on a new mission for Equestria. She must continue to study the magic of friendship. She must report to me her findings from her new home in Ponyville.
Not every 10 days.
Oh, thank you, Princess Celestia. I'll study harder than ever before.
right, so in this situation, I admit this is a little tricky. Who was more of the, I have everything figured out and I'm pulling the puppet strings, and who was just kind of along for the ride? Trollestia, there we go.
Trollestia.
Yes. Yes, my favorite personality type. Absolutely, Barnum.
I have a
Yes.
yeah,
My favorite.
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bardic.
So judging type people, they get very meticulous. They get very detailed with planning.
Yes.
Okay. Can we think of a main 6 character who's really into planning things out very meticulously and carrying out his plans?
Fluttershy.
No.
Twilight's not quite as good as you think, and we'll talk about acting outside of preference.
Yeah.
But probably I would go with Rarity.
I was thinking about Rarity.
I would go with Rarity. Rarity always has a plan.
She always has a plan for all of her dresses, all the stuff she's going to be doing with her friends.
And she freaks out, because judging types freak out when there's not a plan, perceiving types freak out when there is. Because when I went to the UK with my wife, she had everything planned, and I was very nervous about that, but when I got to plan my own stuff and just kind of do whatever, I was very happy. So, that's the example between judging and perceiving. All right, so which pony are you most like? So first thing we're going to do is go over the main 6 and the princesses. Do you want to take my favorite personality type, or shall I, my dear friend?
You do your favorite.
Dude, oh yes, my favorite, my sarcastic favorite. My sarcastic favorite, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you see what I did there, yes.
Yeah.
So the INTJ, quiet and confident, always has a plan for any situation. Very literal in what they say. Driven to excellence in all they do, expect competence in others. We're not really looking at like very sensitive, tender-hearted people. We are looking at people who think that everybody should be great.
Everybody should be getting stuff done and doing what they're supposed to
Everybody
do.
should be as confident as they perceive themselves to be. That's the INTJ. The most independent of all the types, so if you're looking for a touchy-feely type, you want to look elsewhere. Often the quiet, reluctant leader. There's a reason the INTJ is called the mastermind.
Basically what we're doing here is we're making this into a guessing game. This is the type we want you to say, well...
We want you to say who it is.
Which pony is according to this type.
So... Twilight, interesting.
Twilight, that's interesting.
Celestia, there we go.
Princess Celestia.
Boom.
She's not reluctant, she loves it.
There we go, yes, Celestia. Absolutely. That's absolutely Celestia. I mean, really, if you look at her, she's the one who pulls the strings behind the curtains. She probably wouldn't lead if, here's the thing with the INTJ. They won't lead unless they think that there's nobody else competent to do the job. They're not like the types, the ENTJ, which is more like I'll lead no matter what. But they think all you people are idiots. I'm going to run this. How many times have I heard that in the last 8 years? Okay, INTP.
You do INTP. I want to do this one. Click it. Click that.
Click it.
I'm not going to do it. It's all over there. Love academic pursuits. I don't even really think I need to say anything else. And problem solving. The most bookish of all the types. Tries to make sense out of large amounts of data, which is kind of what we're doing right now. Focused heavily on improving themselves and mastering their interests or pursuits.
Discord.
Often don't have backup plans if something falls through.
So everybody say it together.
Who is this? Who is this pony?
Who is this? Good job.
Twilight F and Sparkle.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, with this one, do you really need any explanation? I mean, this is
pretty straightforward.
This is pretty straightforward. Something interesting about INTPs, though, INTPs are the most likely type to have a graduate or doctorate degree.
Yes.
Because you have that impulse to study. So oftentimes with like extreme judging types like INTJ, you plan things so much nothing ever gets done.
Yeah.
But INTPs just go for it. I mean, my cousin, he's an INTP, and he went for his doctorate degree. I mean, he almost he got tired of it, but again, that's the perceiving part. But you know, he has an advanced degree. Nobody else in the family really does.
I have an
you know.
INTP friend who's going for his doctorate now.
Right.
I have two actually.
This is the most represented type in academia. So if you have a college professor who is not a touchy-feely type, they're probably an INTP.
And that combination of N and T means that you really, really study things.
Right.
And you ask yourself
You study and
questions about
analyze
everything
things.
around you, and you study
Yes.
and analyze. Yes.
The INFP, okay, this is my sister type. They try very hard to fit in social situations, strive for self-identity. These are these are idealistic people. The NF is an idealist type. Always try to live consistent with their values. You know, they can become very rigid and angry if something like threatens that, though. I mean, because it's like if somebody is an affront to their values, they can like become a completely different person, even though they're normally like very quiet, happy people. Feel more deeply than they can express to others. I mean, that's kind of the introversion talking. And their feelings are hurt easily, and they overreact to perceived slights. So, who do we think this is? Rarity.
Overreacting to perceived.
Overreacting to perceived slights. It's probably the biggest overreaction in the series.
Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash.
This one's a little trickier.
This one's a little trickier. Think much sooner. Think back to the stars.
There is a character that has been
Nightmare Moon.
striving for self-identity.
Yes,
She hasn't even really gotten a chance to in the series.
Princess Luna, I heard. That is correct. So, I mean, again, I said the biggest overreaction in the series. So she became Nightmare Moon, and she did it really not because she was a bad person. She did it because she was hurt. She was hurt, and she didn't feel valued. I think that's the most important thing to realize with her. That's like she didn't feel like she was appreciated or valued by her much colder seeming sister. So she allowed.
So she was a lot more colder after that, after 1,000 moons.
Yes, I would imagine so. Yes. So yeah, again, that's Luna. I mean, she's perfect for this type. Something interesting about this type is if you ever see a psychologist or a counselor, they are probably an INFP. That is by far the most common type to go into psychology. I went into, I'm ENFP, I'm not INFP, but yeah.
Hey, actually, the chances are that they're both the psychologist and the patient.
Yes. That is very true, actually. Absolutely. Have a lot of unresolved issues and like to talk.
My best friends are INFP.
Sorry.
There we go. Yeah, you can't. It's because they let you drown them out in the river, right?
Wow.
You know it's true. You know it's true. I know it's true. I mean, most of my friends are introverts. The ISFP. Okay, this is probably the most gentle of all personality types.
ISFP. This one will probably be pretty.
Yeah, this will be easy. Oh, see, look at that. Look at that. Okay.
Compassionate, show their love through actions rather than words, seen by others as very passive. Yay.
So, yay, one more yay, and then we'll all say it together. Who is it?
Very good people and animals.
Woo! That's right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Fluttershy can be impulsive at times. I mean, because, you know, look at the Phoenix there. But by and large, she's just very, 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 very passive. So there's just something about this personality type that's very passive. Yes?
What about putting the hoof down?
Again, that is kind of acting out of type. And the thing is like she overreacted so much in putting her hoof down because that was so unnatural to her. She doesn't understand the difference between assertion and aggression.
Yeah.
And so she way overreacted. She didn't act in a way that was natural to her.
She was acting in a realm that she's not familiar with at all.
Right. So she's
not going to be very
unconfident,
good
she's
at
insecure.
it.
She's insecure in her show of security. Any 60s kids in here will know the song Eminence Front.
Okay, you're not that old.
Yeah, no, but you know, we all, you know, an Eminence Front is a put on, and that's exactly what she was doing. She was just putting on something that wasn't really there. And so that's an important thing to say about preferences. Is it's like she was writing. She's a right-handed person writing with her left hand. That's exactly what she was doing. ESTP. Okay, you take this one away. I know you love this one. You love this one so much.
I really do.
I know you do.
All right, the ultimate doers. They just do stuff because they want to do it. They don't really plan or debate, or they're just, you know, very gung-ho. very random.
And some types actually refer to this type as the doer.
They have a keen disinterest for academic pursuits and theory. That might help you. Often athletic and competitive also might help you. May be seen as a tomboy. Enjoy living in the moment and pursuing the next challenge.
That last one is the key between the two characters that everybody is thinking. Rainbow Dash. Yes, yes, Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash.
I have a friend, he is a martial arts instructor, and he is an ESTP. He probably has an IQ of about 140, and he barely made it through high school because he just hates academic stuff. Guy is smart, he can build an engine, he's built a car from the ground up, including welding the frame himself. Does not like academics, but he just does stuff. He's built entire houses. I mean, this is a great example of an ESTP. You just do things.
Speaking of building cars and houses, I think our next type has to deal with that too.
Just a bit. So, I'm sure that you guys were thinking another pony that could have fit this type, except for that last statement. So let's go on to that.
So that was an ESTP, this is an ESTJ. Okay, only one letter's changed, that last one. Very straightforward in conversation, what you see is what you get. Dependable and practical. They enjoy taking charge. Unlike Rainbow Dash is the one that typically takes charge and gets work done, but this pony definitely does.
Yeah, and takes charge of other people, not just their own situation. That's important too.
Yeah, and provides for other people.
Yes.
Believe firmly in work before play, and they can actually turn play into work sometimes. There's a certain episode that plays on this.
Fun indeed.
Often stubborn and can have a competitive streak.
Oh man, these are hard, aren't they?
Yeah.
These are very hard.
Applejack.
Yes.
All about providing for others, all about doing tactile work, getting things done, and stuff like that.
They're not going to be the life of the party, but they can be your party planner. Oh yeah.
She might even take the party planning a little too far.
Yeah, just, you let them plan the party, and then you push them away. Let them be the catalyst. Okay, go away now, Applejack. People are going to have fun. This isn't your realm. This isn't for you. Go build another barn or something. Okay, right. Next up. And oh yes, we have another favorite, Gilda.
Gilda also applies.
Gilda is very much. Okay, ENFJ. This one.
You should do the next one.
I should do this one, yes. Okay, so I will tell you probably the most famous person to have this personality type, and you will never look at this character the same. So just stick around for that just for a minute. You don't know who this is? How do you not remember this? You were here.
No, I said I think I know where this is going.
Indeed, I think you do. It is, you know who, yes.
Let's see.
Okay, the natural diplomat. Have a skill at getting what they want. Often idealize relationships and can have difficulty seeing what's actually there. Excellent at bringing a stop to conflict, have a natural desire for harmony. I'll never look at it the same after I found out this person was a personality type. Can have a flair for the dramatic, very outwardly emotional. Willing to go outside their comfort zone for the ones they love or for their ideals. And yes, absolutely.
These last 2 points.
It is rarity.
Definitely speak to rarity.
Now, all right, so there's another person with this personality type. I want to go back to the last slide. I'm going to let this sink in for you guys for about 5 seconds. And I will say this is a very famous person from history, probably about 70 years ago. This person caused a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble, in fact.
I did not know where this is going.
This is, I'll give you one final clue, and the word is Godwin. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? If you know it, say it. There you go. That's right. So I want you to read this again and think of you know who. That's right. The you know who before you know who. The original you know who.
You know, that's like not fair because my mom's an ENFJ.
So
don't talk about my mom like that.
So yes, that is correct. History's greatest
That's
monster
the thing.
is rarity.
Whatever strengths and weaknesses you have, you can use them
Right.
to make other people happy, but you can also use them.
You can make
for-
dresses or march through the Sudetenland. Your choice. So we're actually really glad that Rarity found dressmaking.
I feel like
because ENFJs are the greatest speech makers. I will tell you this. An ENFJ can have a crowd. I mean, because unlike my type, the ENFP, an ENFJ is very planned and methodical.
Very
So
planned, yeah.
they know how to tap into people's
And
feelings.
they're
and
F-types,
views.
so they know how to appeal to emotion.
Yes, appeals to pathos, not logos. Absolutely. So, we'll get Rary Hitler off of here, and we'll go to the next one. All right. Now, all right. Now, ladies. Nobody said yeah. What's going on?
I'm not a lady.
Yeah.
I couldn't participate.
What's cooler than being cold?
Ice cold.
Ice cold. That's right. All right. So here is my personality type. We are, strangely enough, fun little fact about ENFP. We are the most distinctive of all personality types. We are the weirdos in the room. So enjoy being creative and original. See life as being full of possibilities.
Like the ability to drink Pepsi
soda.
in the middle of what you're saying.
Indeed. Excellent at quickly making connections between people and events. Persistent at achieving their goals. I would say that we say that that's true, right, Paul?
I would say that, yes.
Been to 10 countries in as many years. So, yeah. Love to make others happy, but can often overcommit in an attempt to maintain harmony. I am, oh God, this is such an implication of things right now. Take care of me personally and deal poorly with criticism and rejection. May be seen as an entirely different individual if hurt or threatened. Yeah.
You might even decide to have a party of one.
Often described as random or flighty by others, and there's really only one pony this can be. Pinkie Pie, my name's Pinkie Pie. What's up, guys?
Borderline Paul Lindris.
Hey, what's up, bros? And yes, that's right. PewDiePie is an ENFP as well. Oh, really? Yes, he is. PewDiePie is an ENFP. These are very fun people. And it's kind of weird like saying this about myself, like, because it's like we don't really like to talk good about ourselves. I mean, a lot of us have a very negative self-perception, actually. So that's something that we have to work on, is like self-esteem. And Pinkie Pie's very insecure too. If you look at Party of One, that's a good example of that. Yeah. If you look more recently at Cheese Sandwich, she's very insecure about, I mean, she wants people to love her. I mean, for better or for worse, we're always looking for affirmation from other people. To say that, that they like us, that we're valued, that people appreciate us. And, that can lead you to several things. I mean, this is, unfortunately, for better or for worse, like, this is a personality type that lets themselves get taken advantage of. Some research that I've done more recently and back in the past says that this personality type is not only the least likely type to be able to go on a diet successfully, even though I have lost 35 pounds like 5 years ago, and I did all right with that. But this is also a personality type that, because of the combination of factors, lends itself very much to an abusive relationship with other people. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely. There are good things about this personality type. We're fun, we're spontaneous, but there can also be weaknesses. And I know my own weaknesses, which is why I can really talk about the weaknesses of this type.
I have a lot of ENFP friends, and ENFP friends are usually great friends because they are all about channeling their energy into other people, their emotional energy. They're very extroverted.
Often to the neglect of themselves.
Yeah, and often it comes even to a fault where they're not taking care of themselves.
Right.
But yeah, I like the ENFPs.
Well, that's good. That's good. Glad you're presenting as well. And Derpy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Derpy too. And Cheese Sandwich.
I just got done talking about me.
Okay, so, all right, Paul, level 2.
Level
Which pony
2.
are you most like? These are ancillary characters. So all the big guns are gone. So if you didn't match one of these, you match one of the peons.
You'll match one of these.
That's right. Okay. That's right, one of the plebes. So,
That's
Paul.
not how I planned this panel.
You didn't plan this. Well, you did plan this. What am I talking about? You did this brilliantly.
I'm not very good at planning.
Yeah.
I'm a P.
That's
I'm a
right.
receiver.
So,
and
I wish he was here this time around, but he's in his own panel.
He's doing his own thing right now.
He's doing his own thing right now.
So don't worry about that.
So
ISTJs, can I talk about ISTJs?
You talk about the ISTJs.
My dad's an ISTJ.
You talk about the oil to my water.
Yeah. Okay. So they're quiet and serious, the strong silent type. Unwavering sense of duty.
Like what we saw at the State House parking garage, right?
Oh God. Don't even bring that up. Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Hobo poop. We very dependable, strong work ethic. They love working, but they especially love working independently.
Don't bother me. This is my dad.
Don't bother me.
Wait, your dad was an ISTJ too?
My dad's an ISTJ.
Holy crap, so's mine.
He just gets stuff done. He's like, I'm proud of you, son, and then he goes and does whatever.
That sounds like my dad.
I hope my parents don't watch this. Stick to a proven way of doing things. That's definitely very true. Yeah. Which pony am I talking about?
Yup. That's right. You're doing much better. That's you. You are the ISTJ. That's so fun.
Yeah. Very dependable. Definitely oriented on getting real things done.
Yes. And it's funny, there's not really a lot to say about this type, but that can be a very, very good thing because
it is a
they're
very good
not
thing.
drama types. This is not a drama type.
And according to that picture, they get all the bears.
Because they are the strong silent type. Yes, I am the loud kind of weak type. So I am the object of everyone's affection.
I think we're good parents.
Yeah. You know, ISTJ, I agree. My dad was an ISTJ.
My dad was a hard worker.
Yeah, my dad was a hard worker.
That was essential for our family.
This isn't really somebody you would go to for emotional support, but as far as material comfort, absolutely. I mean, this is a really good type for that. I mean, and I want to say this too, you know, as an ENFP, this is my opposite type. I have a lot of friends who are this type.
Yeah.
I really do. Similarities may keep you together long term, but opposites attract.
That's the thing, yeah. Opposites attract. Different people need different things from each other because they can't provide it themselves.
Right.
That's why you have friends.
And of course.
Oh, and that guy.
And that guy.
And that guy, that's right.
I love how he has this like swag face on.
Yeah, I know.
Check out my new hair. Alright.
I got my new hair.
Actually, this is my old hair.
Alright, so this is the same type pretty much, except the J becomes a C. ISTP.
This is also known as a mechanic.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Alright, dude.
Go on ahead.
Alright, calm and collected most of the time, but they have a very spontaneous and impulsive side. Spontaneous and impulsive. That's that P perceiving thing we were talking about. Like Pinkie Pie and Twilight and Rainbow Dash. They can put themselves at risk on a whim to pursue their interests or objectives. This has definitely happened with this character.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Able to plunge into projects head first without bothering to get directions first.
Very self-directed people. That's why they're the mechanic.
And they're very flighty too.
Yeah.
Great at spontaneous problem solving. Like, hey, I know, I'll do it this way.
This feels like.
And that is Spike.
That's Spike. I guess we knew from there.
Oh yeah, we should have timed this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I thought
absolutely.
that
You
was
think about like the Great Dragon Migration. He's like, okay,
Exactly.
well, I'm going to drop everything I know and love, and I'm going to join this. Okay, because it feels good at the moment, and that is very perceiving. Just jump into it head first.
Very practical in the things that they choose to do, but very flighty in how they choose to do it.
Yes, perfect description.
All right, that's also related to Rainbow Dash.
Yes.
Because Rainbow Dash is just another different too.
Yep, just the very loud version of that. pretty
Loud
much.
version of Spike, yeah.
Loud version of Spike, that's what she is.
All right,
Well, that makes much more sense now. Spike, you're the new Rainbow Dash.
It all makes sense. That's right.
All right.
It's like the theories of Adventure Time. Only about 10% of them actually make sense, but people put text up anyways. All right, INFJ, quiet, mysterious, can seem unfriendly to outsiders. Very socially aware and intuitively grasp people's motivations and social interactions. So this is like an introverted version of Hitler.
I think the answer is no.
Patient and willing to listen quietly to the troubles of others. Again. likely to share wisdom, insight, and theories with those in their inner circle. So who do we think? Oh wow, you are on fire, dude. You are nailing
this guy's on
Bam.
top of
This
it.
is nobody guessed this last year. Nobody got it.
Nobody.
This was hard. Yes, my friends. The guessing game is at an end. It is Sakura.
I didn't rhyme.
Friend and end, man.
Oh, okay.
Friend and end.
I apologize.
Yeah, friend ends and end.
The guessing game is at an end. There we go. Fine. What else?
This year can rhyme lock with lock in a song, then yeah.
Yeah. There we go. So yeah, it's Sakura. I mean, you see more about her like in the comics, but you know she's very quiet. But you know she does have her ideals and her passions. She just doesn't really share them with people. She's very. This is the rarest of all personality types, actually. Only about 2% of the population. Predominantly female too. Not very many male INFJs. But yeah, it's almost with this type. It's almost hard to get a read on what they're doing, and like the way that they process information seems very different than other idealists. But once you get into their inner circle, you realize that their ideals are just as passionate.
They might seem as very distant people at first, but
exactly.
if you get to know them,
That's introversion and judging
world.
It is. It is a very deep internal world.
Yeah.
You just have to be in their inner circle.
Our con chair is an INFJ.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Darkly Cute's an INFJ.
Huh. The ESFP. Okay. This one is a little tricky. People often think that Pinkie Pie is this because of certain aspects of this character type, but I will go over this one. Right, exactly, Pinky Sense. Pinky Sense is intuition, not sensing. So these are, my dad has a phrase called fart in a whirlwind. That is exactly what this personality type is. These are very fun people. These are fun people to be around, and they totally forget about you when they're gone. They live in the moment, they love having fun by doing physical activities.
Yeah, let's go to the club. Woo.
And I have a friend who's an ESFP, and what he did one time is he went to this Chinese restaurant in our small town in West Virginia where I grew up. And what he did was he got this medical skeleton from their high school lab. They carted it out, and then they took it to the Chinese restaurant, and they made the people at the restaurant serve the skeleton drinks. So that is a very good example of having fun by doing physical activities. Try to ignore conflict or anything negative. Again, the combination of feeling, perceiving, extroversion, and sensing says that you're not really looking deeper into a problem, and you're really trying to make people happy. So like you basically have 4 strikes here. You really do. You have 4 strikes here.
There's no happiness here. Sweet. I'll go somewhere else. Later.
Yep. But again, that's why they're also likely not to get themselves into as negative situations like an ENFP. Right, because, you know, if it doesn't feel good, they just don't do it. I think that's a big thing. If it feels good, do it. That's this type. Realistic and practical, so they have a common sense side to them. They don't really look deeper into things. They're very focused on the material world. So a lot of these people, like, they love to craft. You know, if you have a master cosplay maker, this is probably this type. Because they love, and they have difficulty making connections between people and events though. So like, if you're asking them for advice, this is probably the worst type to take advice from. Because they're just going to say, if it feels good, do it. May not always be aware of the feelings of others. Again, not the best advice givers. Of course, you know, honestly, neither really is the INTJ. They're opposite types, kind of somewhere in the middle. But
I'm not thinking these necessarily.
No, these are the worst though. This is standout worst. Okay, so this one is tricky. So bonus points to anybody who can guess who this is.
S.D. Jones is this type.
Also keep in mind, this is like Rainbow Dash's type, except with more feeling.
Yeah. Oh, Scootaloo!
That's why I get that clue.
That's right. And I believe there's another one in here too, so let's see. That's right, Vinyl. Epic Love Time Vinyl, absolutely, a very ESFP kind of person. I mean, if you watch the little video, she's not really aware of like what's going on with Octavia.
Yeah.
She's just like, whoa man, you know, it